Hey everybody, it's Alex again. I have some things I'd like to talk about, and Diablo 3 is just one of them. So, two things for this episode. I'm going to talk about Irrational Podtacular. For one, if you don't know what that is, you're about to learn something. And I'm also going to talk about Diablo 3, and yeah. So, in case you don't know, I'm Alex, editor-in-chief of IrrationalPassion.com. I did one of these last week about JRPGs, and some people seem to like it. So I'm doing another one this week. Look at me being consistent. Although today's Thursday, I don't know when I did it last week. Oh well. So, in case you don't know, we do a little podcast for the website. It's called Irrational Passions Podcast. I'm the host of it, and this summer we're doing something pretty fun. It's called Irrational Podtacular, for lack of a better name. We're flying Joe, one of our hosts who lives in Florida, up here to Maryland. He's going to be hanging out with us in person. We're going to have the five of us, all five hosts together for the first time ever. It's never happened before. Although we have tried, it has never happened before. So that's exciting. And it's just going to be a big fun party. It's going to be episode 99 of our podcast. And then we're going to be doing episode 100 the following week live, and that's going to be significantly less crazy. But in episode 99, we're going to be doing interviews of developers, interviews of journalists, and we're going to be talking about basically the game industry from both sides, from the press side and from the development side. I'm looking to see if we can maybe get some voice actors too, get some people who film development, do documentaries and such. I'm really hoping this is going to turn out pretty awesome. So. Sorry, I'm not feeling my best. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. That's July 21st. Now, I've been talking to developers. They aren't sure about giving interviews on Saturdays, which that's what it is, because I figured that'd be the best for everyone. So that date may move to Friday or Thursday of that week. So we'll see. Hopefully, we won't have to move it around and confuse people. But Irrational Podtacular, episode 99 of our podcast. July 21st, tentatively. Also, we'll be doing the podcast part, which is going to be mostly interviews and such with different people from the games industry. And then we will also be doing activities afterward. That's going to be the more podtacular part. We're going to be playing Cards Against Humanity live. My housemate Alex has something she wants to do. There's just a lot of fun to be had. We're going to be doing a Mass Effect trio stream where we're going to be playing all three Mass Effects, probably on 3 different systems. And we will be taking donations for what decisions to make. Again, I forgot to mention this earlier. This is all for Child's Play Charity, which, if you're not familiar, they are a charity that helps give sick kids in hospitals gaming systems and games to play. I think it's a really great charity. All of the proceeds from this event, there's a big donation button on our page right now, go directly to Child's Play, directly into their PayPal account. We don't see any of it. It's all for them. So if you think this sounds cool and if you're going to be there, I would say please donate and get the ball rolling. Anyway, that's Irrational Podtacular. Let's talk about Diablo. So, I've never purchased a Blizzard game before. I've played World of Warcraft. I've never played any of the Warcraft games. I've never played any of the StarCraft games. So this is my first purchase of a Blizzard game. Because my brother had bought World of Warcraft. I just played on his account. So I had never used Battle.net, and I'm sure you guys see where I'm going with this. So, one, the game is always online. This was announced a long time ago, and we knew this going in. I don't think anyone was happy with it, because from what I understand, again, I never played Diablo 2, but you had characters that you played only offline and characters that you played only online in Diablo 2. That sounds like a reasonable system, because, again, a lot of people buy Diablo, again, just from what I understand, a lot of people buy Diablo just to play it by themselves. And after I played a little solo last night. I played like 3 levels worth solo. And I totally think that's viable. It's a great single-player game. They even have companions that you can hire to go with you, kind of like companions in Skyrim and stuff. You can just hire them, and they follow you around and do whatever you want them to until you're done with them. And they even have like skill trees and shit. I think that's awesome. I think this is a viable single-player game. But that's not an option. You cannot play this offline by yourself. You have to play this online always. You can still play it by yourself. You have to play it online. So, me and some of the podcast guys, and also Rob from a website called Game Crashers. If you haven't heard of it, please check it out. GameCrashers.net. Dude's awesome. So we're hanging out on Skype. We can't play until the Pacific servers go live, which doesn't happen until 3 a.m., obviously, because we're on Eastern time. So we're all hanging out, just spitting this shit. And I took this audio and put it in the latest episode of the podcast, episode 92. It's after the credits. There were some audio problems with that podcast, so I had to redeem it somehow. So the audio from our banter of getting into Diablo and then getting into Diablo, that not happening, then the whole aftermath and everything happening on Twitter, that's all recorded. I took it from our stream when we were streaming it live. I took down the stream because of multiple reasons. But I took the audio. It's in the latest podcast. Go listen to it. It's gold, I would say. So we're hanging out, and of course, the servers get decimated. And it's Evan from the podcast, myself from the podcast, of course, Tony, another podcast host, and Rob from Game Crashers. And we are on Skype, and Tony is throwing himself at the servers the whole time before, like the 5 minutes leading up, and somehow he slips through. But the rest of us are fucked until about 4:45 in the morning, which is an hour and 45 minutes after the game launches. And so much stuff happened afterward. I find that in the game industry, when something terrible happens to all of us, Twitter becomes the greatest thing ever, just because the funny in people finds its way to come out. And everyone was just sharing these solid gold tweets that were just hilarious. Mike Drucker, if you don't know, he's a writer for IGN, SNL. IGN's Up at Noon Monday show and SNL, and he had some of the best fucking tweets I've ever seen. And it was great. I thought it was really funny. So the whole thing is that Blizzard, these guys are the guys, they don't make a bad game. They have their games are followed until their games die and the next one comes out. Diablo 2 came out, I think, 12 years ago, 13 years ago. I'm not sure. And people still play Diablo 2 to this day, and they definitely played it up until the day Diablo 3 came out. My friend Prime Buster from a podcast called Down to 4X, he still plays that game. And he played it up until the moment he got Diablo. So I remember he was playing Diablo 2 the day of launch on Diablo 3, the day before. But of course, servers decimated. Blizzard, the guys that sell Activision Blizzard, these guys are used to selling millions of copies on a single day. One day, they sell millions of Call of Duties. They sell millions of StarCrafts, and somehow they are not ready for this server explosion. Now, this wouldn't be a problem. I mean, I could make a bunch of Error 37 jokes, but this wouldn't have been a problem if it didn't kind of pour over into the next day, where they took the servers down during the day. Like, I think it was from like 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific of Tuesday, launch day. So people who stayed home from work were fucked. And they took them down again at night, and then they took them down again Wednesday. And it's Thursday now. I don't know. I haven't tried. I got on to put this screen up. But I don't know if I can actually play or anything. From what I understand, since last night, things have been okay, but I'm not sure. It's just, I feel like, Blizzard should be held accountable for this. There are people who've been lining up to play it on launch day, and they assured customers that this always online thing wouldn't affect. But you have to imagine StarCraft when StarCraft launched, because from what I understand, that was okay. There were problems, but it wasn't as bad as this. StarCraft had an offline mode. You could play the campaign and be offline. So everyone in the world who bought StarCraft on launch day, not all of them went online. But with Diablo, it's always online. Only online. Every single person that bought Diablo was online as well. And Blizzard clearly was not ready for that. What I'm saying is that maybe the always online, not the best decision, Blizzard. I'm just putting that out there. It seems like this is why people don't want games always online. This is why people hate DRM, and this is why it doesn't work, because in order for a game to always be online, you need servers to hold those people, and if the servers can't hold those people will get angry that they can't play their games. That's just going to be the reaction. It's never going to end up okay if even just one person can't get online. That person is going to have a fit. All right, maybe that was a bad example. That person can go have their fit, but when you have literal millions of people logging on and trying to get online, and half of those people, more than half probably, can't get online, that's a lot of millions of people who would have a fit at once, and that bad things will happen. I don't know. Again, this is my first experience with a Blizzard game, and it's not a good one at all. It's just like they could have handled this so much better, and they're all like, emergency maintenance, sorry about this. I don't think they've come out and said, yo, we weren't expecting this to be a problem, we're sorry. If they at least admitted that, it would be better. But nope, I don't think so. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It was a problem. It's not a huge deal to me because, again, I wasn't as hyped for Diablo as much as everyone else was, clearly. I've been playing it. I'm level 13, right? 14. Okay. I'm a level 14 wizard. I think it's awesome. I think the game's really fun. And I think it's a great cooperative experience. That's a back-of-the-box quote right there. But this wasn't as bone-crushing as it was for me. And Tony, the person I knew who was hyped for Diablo most, he got in on launch day, so he was fucking happy. I don't know, man. I like to know what you guys thought. What were your Diapocalypse, if that's a thing, Diablo apocalypse server crashing memories and thoughts? I want to know. Leave it in the comments below or email me. That's alex@irrationalpassions.com. Also, constructive criticism. I tried some different things with positioning and lighting. I think it looks a bit better, at least on the little screen on the camera. It could come out terrible, and I might have to do a second take. Hopefully not. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/irrationalpassions. Subscribe here on YouTube for more videos like this. And please check out Irrational Passions podcast at irrationalpassions.com. It's what pays the bills, my friends. It's what pays the bills. And by bills, no bills are being paid. So maybe I could start paying bills if people started going there. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I'm Alex. Play your game, stay rational. I'll probably talk to you guys next week.